This episode is honestly one of the most frustrating and emotional Ross and Rachel moments in all of Friends history. So the whole thing starts with Ross casually announcing, "I'm going to China," and everybody reacts like, "Bro, what?" But Ross explains it in the most Ross way possible. There's this bone, and we want the bone, but they don't want us to have the bone. Only Ross could make an international trip sound like a museum homework assignment. At first, it seems like a normal goodbye scene. Ross is handing people his itinerary, giving Monica a picture of himself so Ben won't forget him, and trying to act completely normal. But deep down, this man is heartbroken, because right before leaving, Ross finds out Rachel is out with another guy named Carl, and you can literally see his soul collapse in real time. Then suddenly, everything changes. The group accidentally reveals to Rachel that Ross has basically been in love with her forever, and Rachel is shocked, because for the first time she realizes, wait, Ross actually loves me. And honestly, this whole moment hits hard because Rachel starts replaying every interaction they ever had. All those awkward moments, all the little hints, all the years Ross spent quietly loving her, and now he's leaving for China. So Rachel immediately goes into full romantic comedy mode. She decides, I have to tell Ross how I feel before he leaves, and that's where the chaos begins. Now Rachel is sprinting through New York trying to reach the airport in time. Everybody keeps warning her, you're not going to make it. But Rachel's too emotional to think logically anymore. This girl is basically running on pure panic and love. Then we get one of the most iconic sitcom airport scenes ever. Rachel is pushing through crowds yelling, "Excuse me, emergency!" Meanwhile, random airport employees are looking at her like, "Lady, calm down." And honestly, the funniest part is that Rachel still doesn't even know what she's going to say. She's risking her life at the airport with no plan. Then she finally spots Ross, and for one beautiful second, it really feels like the perfect romantic ending is about to happen. The music kicks in, Rachel looks emotional, Ross looks surprised. Everything feels magical. But then, Ross says, "This is Julie." Bro really came back from China with a whole girlfriend. Rachel's heart completely shatters on the spot, and somehow the scene becomes even more painful because Julie is actually super sweet. Like Rachel wants to hate her so badly, but Julie is just standing there being adorable and friendly. That's honestly what makes this scene genius. If Julie was mean, it would have been easy. But no, the writers made her nice. So now Rachel can't even be angry properly. And Ross genuinely thinks he finally moved on. Later, he explains that he stopped waiting for Rachel because he truly believed she would never feel the same way. And honestly, that part hurts the most. Because both of them loved each other, they were just completely out of sync. Classic Ross and Rachel timing. One person realizes their feelings too late, the other person finally gives up, and suddenly everything falls apart. That's why this episode is so unforgettable. It starts like a goofy sitcom episode about a bone in China, then slowly turns into one of the biggest emotional disasters in Friends history, and somehow, even in the middle of heartbreak, the show still keeps making you laugh every 2 seconds. That's peak Friends.